Atu and Blair. We are ready for game number 2. I'm hearing that the plans are all on the server, so let's head back to our commentators for game number 2.
Welcome indeed back to the show. It's going to be quite a killer one. TyLoo, a very good performance on the first map there. Fantastic comeback out of them, as you've heard from the analysts. They're set on a very, very good pace here on Cash.
Yeah, I think so. I think they've actually had more success on Cash than Renegades has, even though Cash has always been kind of considered like a good map for a lot of North American teams. A lot of them would like to play it. It's kind of like another Dust 2 in the NA scene for a long time. You know, the thing is, Renegades with this 5, they've kind of had mixed results online. They've yet to ever play it. This will be their first time in an offline setting playing Cash with this lineup. Meanwhile, TyLoo, you know, good in their region in both online and offline play on Cash thus far. So could definitely still see the 2-0 as a huge possibility here in this upper bracket semifinal match.
Well, there you go. That's the prediction coming in from Dustin. If you have any opinions about the game, about your predictions, about your thoughts on how this is going so far, don't be shy to use the social media to get in touch with us. And Paul will be reading your messages throughout the day. So, the gang is about to beat down. Let us know what you think about this one. I sure hope that it will be a good show indeed. And I would like to see Renegades come back into this one, to be honest. I'd love to see a third map.
Yeah, we'll have to see. I mean, the thing that Renegades have to deal with here on their T side is that TyLoo is very aggressive on the CT side, and then this map is very conducive to being aggressive. Is that the right way to put it? I don't know. Well, point is that the way the map is structured, you can get away with aggression on the CT side much more than maybe other maps. Like pop flashing A main still pretty safe and peeking that and getting back. Same with B lobby, like taking aggressive angles. So TyLoo likes to use that to their advantage, like either playing aggressive.
Look at the knife.
Don't bet us. Okay. Confidence there, I guess. But yeah, I mean, TyLoo likes to push the periphery of the map. They like to play aggressive middle, so that means that Renegades are going to have to fight for that space rather than just getting it for free. Also, TyLoo can run a pretty powerful double AWP setup. I mean, Mo is obviously the guy you see toting around a lot, but you could see somebody with it at some points. And then Ben Tet at this tournament, but he does do it for his team at times, particularly on CT side Cash and double op setup. So there's a lot that the Renegades will have to fight against here in the first half from their T side. But I will say that Renegades does have a pretty, diverse play style on Cash. They're capable of playing fast and slow and having good executes, but also just playing standard defaults well.
And they look ability.
And they look like their teamwork was on point for the most part on Mirage. So hopefully they can get something going.
Yeah, exactly. I wanted to point that one out as well. It does look like Renegades are playing as a squad. Actually, both of the teams were looking fantastic in terms of fragging performance on the last map there. All of them were actually quite close to one another, and it did seem like their rotates, their communication. It felt like the game was very, very fluid from both ends. That's why we saw some very exciting CS:GO, and we're hoping to see the same of right here on Cash. We're not too confident right now what the current status is of the game start. But I'm pretty sure it's going to be starting soon, so no worries there.
The thing about Mirage is when you watched it, I didn't really feel like you saw that many, just straight-up mistakes. I felt like a lot of it was just,
down to
really good dueling, mostly on TyLoo's end towards the, the middle of the first half to the end of the game, as opposed to where Renegades had, the hot start, obviously. So that's good news. At least they were both, playing pretty well. It was just, not necessarily, trading efficiently. It was kind of the thing that got to Renegades. But now we're going to get started with the first half of map number 2 again. If you just joined us, TyLoo did win the first map on Mirage. I believe it was 16-10. So pretty good stuff from them. They're one map away from moving on to the upper bracket final. Renegades fighting to avoid the lower bracket now, as they will get that T-side start. And there is somebody. Oh, he was out of there real quick. He's like, I don't want anything to do with that. I don't even think he saw anything, though. He rotated off.
Yep, there you go. He's going to be playing for the retake. He did notice the T's coming in there. That's why he's waiting for his teammates to gather around. Soon, though, they'll be finding some nice turret spots. Good start from them, but the bomb is actually about to go down there. Unless it will be able to be stopped. No, somebody goes down, but Captain Mo comes in with the duel. Nice shot from him, and it looks like he's got a good control on things. There you go. It's going to be Renegades taken down. They do get a bomb plant there, so that's not too bad out of them. But TyLoo come up with the first round.
Yeah, and so now the option probably will be to take a save here and go 3 AKs third round. And this means TyLoo should be able to get the 2-0. At least that's the decision that Renegades made on Mirage, was not to go for the heavy force by second round, which is still an option. Maybe they'll change their mind this time around. But no, looks like it'll just be a couple of P250s. So should be an easy second round for TyLoo. Renegades probably not going to get much out of this. I mean, I guess if they could get a bomb plant, that would be pretty sick. They did do that on Mirage, in fact. So that'd be cool. But this is mostly just kind of a throwaway round, really focusing up on the next one.
Yes, indeed. It's got to be somebody that will late nade a main, but that's not going to connect with anyone right now. The T's are going to be busy getting a boost into mid, it seems. With that in mind, they'll hope to get some sort of an action. But look at this. You still own JKS on 12 HP.
Yeah, they got straight wrecked by that grenade.
Yeah.
That was a nasty grenade.
Not the one at A main, though. Was a different one, I believe, that was thrown above
boost.
the boost position. Though you still owe 12 HP, does not matter much to him. I think a good shot, but here comes the response from DDR. Good stuff, indeed. And it looks like TyLoo will have an easy round on their hands, though. AZR is still alive. And, well, you know, as they can do with this, well, not too much. DD's going to be on the spot, on the money there, 2-0 for TyLoo. And with 3 members alive, 2 rifles saved. It's not too bad for him, but still. Their Academy needs some healing now, and it's a bit late because Renegades are in a buy round.
Yeah, again, it was just all about saving up for this after that first round bomb plant. They'll have AKs across the board, a little bit of utility to spare as well. And again, Renegades is a team that when you watch them play T-side cash, they have a lot of different ways they can go. They can play your standard mid-control default stuff. They can do some pretty cool executes. Limited utility this round kind of limits maybe the complexity of the executes they can run. So you might just see something a little bit more standard, which usually means JKS will be lurking outside the B-bomb site, either Azza or Ustilo playing towards door. And we're going to see HC doing the boost, but the problem with doing it this way instead of the run boost method is Azza probably heard that. Yeah. If I had to guess, Azza knows, okay, there's a guy boost. He can at least give that information over, so if they want to peek A main, they'll be able to pre-aim the boost spot, or you can come up highway, and that's kind of like a good counter to the boost, is if you can get the highway shot on him. So that's something that Renegades can hopefully start thinking about if they in fact heard that boost. I'd imagine they had to.
They would, yeah. There were 2 players, one at A main and still Azza was as well into Squeak. So yeah, one of them definitely heard that one going down. But still, it's going to be Renegades fighting for some mid control here. And with that in mind, it might just be a split towards the A site. Let's see how that one's going to be faring out. So far, they've backed off from mid. They're pushing in from main, it seems. Nope, it's going to be still 2 players into mid. With a bit of a flash there, it's going to allow Zed to peek in. He's not going to be spotting too much, but then again, his position should be no, just as Dustin pointed out there.
Yeah, they knew.
There you go.
There you go.
Straight up nifty, takes an angle there, peeks and kills him. Azzer, though, with a good frag, and JKS with one indeed. Bentet, the only one fragging for his team, and now it's a bit too late because DD is the only one left alive in a 1v4 situation. You wouldn't give him too much, so instead of going too deep with it, he's probably going to try and save that M4, but his position has been spotted.
Again, going for that boost in the you know, easy way, I guess, is usually bad news because it's going to get heard. You have to do the run boost version if you want to get away with that a lot of the time, unless you just happen to catch a lucky timing where they're really passive and they don't really push in the squeaky hallway early in the round. And that made the world of difference. Now, knowing it's half the battle, right? Because even if you know to pre-aim boost spot, you still have to worry about maybe getting blindsided as you're peeking boost from somebody playing inside the site or quad or forklift or what have you. So it can still be difficult to get the kill even if you have the information. But Renegades, they handle it very well, coming out together as a unit until they get their first round on the board pretty early. They've already set TyLoo back on their cash. It's just the M4 that DD has saved. There's a little bit of money on Mo, so maybe they can get some upgraded pistols around it. But likely is that they'll have to save on most of their players just to get their money back in order after the reset.
There you go. And they're going to be doing just that. Not a lot of investment done just so far in this round here. TyLoo's going to be going in nice and dry. DD, the only one with a rifle on his team. Of course, he saved it from the previous round. Does have a flash to work with here, so he could come in with a good surprise. And with this bit of an aggressive stance coming in from HZ, it will be netting them a frag and also the potential to pick up a rifle. And that's what they're going to be doing indeed. Because the T's right now are heading straight towards the B side here. They've read the situation well enough, and they're going to the easiest spot that they can go to. Well, has been taken down. It's going to be DD and somebody that can do something as their teammates don't have anything to work with here. But instead of going hard to it, they're probably going to set Bentet and HZ towards the B side there just to make a bit of noise while their teammates save 2 rifles. This is how it should be played at this moment.
Yeah, I mean, this is actually pretty ideal for TyLoo. They had 3 USPs into this round and then a non-armored Deagle, and they'll be able to keep the M4 that DD has been saving since the previous round, and now somebody even gets an AK out of this. So this is actually not too shabby for TyLoo given the situation, as long as they can hold on to these 2 rifles. I mean, Bentet and HZ have nothing to save here. If anything, it's about them making sure that their other teammates can, in fact, save. So Bentet maybe wants to get over to the side of the map to make sure somebody carries the AK over.
Well, there we go. He's going to be hoping his best to find someone. But he's going to find plenty of action there if he dares speak into it. Oh, somebody just barely making it out alive there with his AK. Nope. Yeah. Oh, gets a bit of a tap there, but it's all good in the end. 2 rifles saved by TyLoo, and that's going to come in handy because their economy is not fantastic at this moment. So these 2 rifles will make the difference between having a lot of utility and having none. And there you go. Mo goes for the op.
It's a pretty early tactical pause out of Renegades.
Yeah, interesting.
Yeah, I'm not sure. It feels a little bit odd that it would come this early. I think maybe the only thing I can think of is they're just trying to calm everyone down. Maybe they're trying to make sure they understand what they're up against this round because they know that 2 rifles have been saved, and just really kind of working it out. Again, they let things slip when they started to get things going on Mirage. Maybe this is more about just keeping the mental stability in order more than anything else. But yeah, TyLoo will get a full buy going. Mo will have the AWP. I imagine he'll play B. He's a very B-heavy AWP player, and he has the good spawn for B to peak lobby. He's very similar in that regard to like a Kenny S, who likes to just play B a lot on this map as opposed to playing more heavy towards the A side. Yeah. And so that's probably what we'll see. Actually, no. I think he took it A. Maybe he's going to get aggressive in A main with the AWP.
Yep, he will indeed. Netting a frag at the start of it as well. Yustilo's going to be the first one to fall. That's an important one indeed. It's barely the start of the round there, and TyLoo have the upper hand so far. They're going to be quite happy with that. Renegades need to make some sort of a crazy play happen. Azir as well gets stacked through the door now. Captain Mo, stop what you're doing right now.
Someone go check his PC. What was that? I mean?
Something needs to be done here.
Nah. No, let's go ahead and hit the button real quick. Sometimes people take jokes way too seriously, so I'll just go ahead and...
Let's just make sure that we're kidding around.
Clearly a joke. So, point is, though, it was great to see Mo come off of his normal tendency to play B. Maybe that kind of threw Renegades off guard. He's not a one to do that a lot. Usually someone's going to get aggressive A main. On TyLoo, it's one of their riflers that play towards that side of the map, like a Bentet or an HG or something like that. So, yeah, really cool. Gets the instant advantage for his team. As we see Renegades, they still have a lurk outside B, but they're going to go for the A attack here.
And the attack starts indeed, but it's going to be Hazeset defending that one. True legend. Now he's going to be flashed and going straight into that molly. Takes a bit of damage there. Not too much. He's still alive, still able to help his teammate. Now the bomb is on the A side, but it will be back away. 30 seconds left, and the rotate should be able to happen, though. JKS might give the information that there's nobody on B, but, well, it's a trap, though. There is one player there, but it's got to be taken down there. JKS, good shots from him. Still time to rotate now, but the bomb needs to make his way faster. And one player into heaven might just deny the bomber to go into the site. That is not what happens, though. Bentet does find the final frag of this round there, and TyLoo get another one up on the board.
Yeah, you could see the thought process there from Renegades. I mean, they had JKS sneaking into B. He wasn't really seeing anything. He got the kill on the site, so that made them want to transition the bomb over. Not a bad call. They just couldn't follow it up and actually fully break through. There was still someone heaven. You know, they were able to get a rotate in thanks to Mo's op frag on the other side of the map, kind of freeing up the ability for them to rotate properly. And so they do hold it off. They still have the op in Nifty's hands. Good amount of utility on all their players. 3 AKs. It's just JKS who's yet to buy. He has plenty around here. Meanwhile, the CT side, despite the fact that they're winning, they're losing a lot of players and they're having to do a lot of rebuying. So their money's actually quite low. If they lose this round, they're immediately forced to save despite winning around there. Because, again, it would just be a round by itself. It'd be an instant reset. So
that reset will hit him quite hard.
Same could be said for Renegades, I guess. They're probably saving too if they lose this round.
Yeah, they don't have that much great money. But then again, on the T side, you would be allowed to get away with a bit more than with, you know, Tech 9 armors, perhaps.
Yeah, because you're going to get 3-round loss bonus if you're Renegades here if you lose this, which is 2,400 on top of, I think they have a couple of players around 1,400 or so. So they'd still have maybe a little bit of something to work with.
There we go. Bit of an issue, perhaps.